Would you vote for a 35-year-old candidate for U.S. president? Why, yes or no? Depends. Is the 35-year-old an idiot? Realistically, to have the kind of resume that would get you taken seriously at that age, you'd have be elected mayor at 18, representative at 25 to 26 and governor, senator at 30 to 32. Not saying it can't be done, but there's very few people who can master high-level politics that fast. I'd vote for an 18-year-old candidate if they're fit for the office. And I honestly thought they wouldn't be corrupted. Absolutely not. I would never do that. Why? I'm Canadian, I can't vote in US elections. If it's the right person, I think they could change the world massive into the good side. If they have a good platform, sure. Yeah, 'cause old people ain't doing it. I'm 37. Yeah, if they have good values. We need young blood in government and not these dinosaurs who should frankly just drop dead. That depends. What are this person's values? What are their morals? What is their history in office? Being 35 isn't any more of a selling point than being 65 or 165. Who you are is far more important than what you are. If they're smart, compassionate, and progressive, absolutely. I don't know if there's any experience in the world that prepares you for that specific job. I'd look for someone with the intelligence to balance the difficult situations and want to know who he'd bring aboard on his staff, cabinet. Perhaps. Also important. Proving beyond a doubt that they know how government actually works. Which is often the problem with these sort of celebrity political candidates. Not just for president. But really. I don't think age matters. There are incredibly experienced septuagenarians who are dumber than shit. And brilliant 30-somethings with an incredible understanding of the world around them. Certainly skewing younger would, in theory, have a leader who actually understands technology to some degree and have them actually have some skin in the game regarding climate change and the upcoming inevitable collapse of civilization. vs. most of Congress who won't ever have to live through the worst of it. If I liked them enough. Sure. But at 39 I find it difficult to think anyone could have the emotional maturity for such a demanding job at 35. But then again, I've always been a late bloomer. I'm sure there are people out there who could handle it at that age. I'll take any competent person under 50. They're not even trying to hide they're using essentially corpse puppets for our nation's leader. Same with Trump. If he gets re-elected, he'd be in his mid-70s. Can we get a Roosevelt or a Kennedy type? Anyone who inspires competence and makes us feel like they represent the best of our nation? Unlikely. Unless the other choice was worthless, like, well, you know. If you wrote a honest job description for the president and were responsible for hiring for the role, you would want real-life, demonstrated experience and accomplishments. Talking heads like MGT and AOC have great ideas, depending on which side you support. But being president isn't about ideas. For those of us that have biz experience, don't the taking heads sound like consultants? They use all of the right buzzwords, provide you with ideas, but have never implemented those ideas anywhere. President is about getting shit done. The biggest role of president, that does not require congressional approval, is foreign policy and commander-in-chief. The president is also the CEO over a massive number of federal employees. Do you want an inexperienced person sitting down across the negotiating table from Putin? Do you want someone that never had employees managing the nearly 2 million federal employees? Frankly, I think that the age should go up, to 40 or 45. I'd rather have someone in office that's been a parent, had to deal with teachers, etc. Does anyone over 25 think that an 18-year-old today is really an adult? Or as mature as their parents or grandparents were at 18? When the founders wrote the Constitution, the life expectancy was 35. They clearly were counting on a life experience providing wisdom for our president. I'm also not a fan of a retirement age, though I do think a fair and unbiased medical exam to ensure the president is mentally fit to lead. For what it's worth, I also think that Congress should not have a separate healthcare plan, and should be on Medicare. And there should be term limits. And benefits only exist while in office. Yeah, we could use some young blood if they're competent and could win it. Sure. Also, I don't get why we don't have an age maximum since we have a minimum. If I liked them, I would vote for them. It's possible for a 35-year-old to run for president after 2 terms in the House of Representatives and most of a term in the Senate. If somebody like that came along, then would look at their voting record and what legislation they've passed, at their ability to build coalitions, and at their leadership skills. The age alone wouldn't be a deal breaker. Hypothetically, it's possible. It's just unlikely. The youngest anyone has reached the Oval Office was age 42. And Theodore Roosevelt got there as VP because William McKinley was assassinated. Sure. Just give us someone who's not corrupt and geriatric, please. Anything is better than what we've had the last 2 tries.